talk about people talk about like distractions and bread and circuses or whatever. I I think there's a huge difference between like I don't know about you. I like sports. I like watching sports. I like playing sports. I like engaging in sports because I think it is a good distraction. But if that distraction is keeping you from spending time with your church, your wife, girlfriend, family, then it really is. You're making it bread and circuses because you're putting apart the important stuff to just, I don't know if I told you about this, but I was at used to go to this bar where it was like a bunch of Washington Capitals fans. And I would see like dudes who at my fattest would make me look thin and beer coming down their face and they'd be like get like really emotional whenever the other team scored a goal. And I'm like, you, my friend, are engaging in bread and circuses because your
Yeah.
wife is at home, maybe getting pounded by your friend. I don't know. And you're
Oh
here
my
getting
God.
getting emotional about a hockey game.
Yeah, people get way into it.
Yeah. So I know you had mentioned that you wanted to talk about like the idea of how dumbed down music is, right? And I think we could sort of like jump off on that talking point. Like what you see is like slop versus what you think is really good music and what out there, you know.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff like I mean, the teenagers out here are still teenagers, like no matter where you think in rural Wyoming they wouldn't be listening to mumble rap and all kinds of dumb stuff blasted in their pickup trucks. And just like, what are you doing, man? Like you don't know anything about Willie or Waylon?
Well, you know what? It's and I'm already recording by the way. Um
Okay.
I cut out I'll cut out where you did the Ro- Roman salute and all that and we said our no um so
Yeah, there's a fly on my wall right
yeah,
there.
it's funny like literally just off camera I have a game. I have two games that might make people think the wrong thing. But that, oh, and that,
Nice.
yeah, and they just happen to be stacked up next to each other, not even in alphabetical order.
That's funny.
I'll cut that out. No, I won't.
Yeah.
Yes. So like you'll hear people blasting mumble rap,
Yeah.
and would you say that rap, whenever we were younger, was better, or was it just slop then too?
Um, I mean, some of it was made by talented people. Um, like I grew up listening to like Nas
Yeah.
and Wu Tang and stuff like that. And I mean, some of it is probably all that CIA stuff, like that Freeway Rick Ross was talking about.
So 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 replay that for me because I think heard sort of boulderized versions of it. So so tell me what that was because I know people were saying it's like they use that clip of like Limp Bizkit at Woodstock '99. They're like the CIA had to come in and make rap popular because this was too masculine. But anyway, go ahead.
I didn't hear about that, but it's. I'm sure it has something to do with it because the music doesn't get any more intellectually engaging as the years go on. I mean, look at the dummies that pay $2,000 for Taylor Swift tickets just to have her show canceled. Like people like flew to Europe to see her, and then she canceled the show, and I don't know if they got refunds.
Like when people bring up the term uh Goyslop, right? And it's funny is when I looked up the term no, the first thing that came up was anti-Semitic trope. I'm like, but we're calling it goy slop. So we're talking
Yeah,
about the goys, but it was just like, we gotta get that in there so you know if you use the term, you're automatically a Nazi, which I just think it's a funny term, but go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, it's 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 really weird, like how they just flip the script on us. They're like, "Oh, anything you criticize, you're it's anti-Semitic." It's like, what? They don't even know what they're saying. It's just weaponized language at this
Yeah.
point.
Don't feed me don't spoon feed me, poop and expect me to say how wonderful it tastes. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, like,
yeah,
now,
yeah.
uh, so, so what did Rick Ross say? Like, what or this is the fake Rick Ross, right? The rapper Rick Ross, not the actual
No, no,
Freeway.
no.
Oh, Freeway Rick Ross, like the real Rick Ross.
Yeah,
Oh, oh,
yeah. He was.
oh,
I'm not sure. He probably mentioned the music industry too. I did. I need to read his book. I heard it's really good.
because he was the one that was in prison that Rick Ross bases his persona on, right?
Yeah,
Okay, gotcha.
yeah. He was like the wealthiest crack dealer
Okay,
in L.A. He had amassed like $800 million or something selling crack for the government because that's when they, under Biden, they made crack cocaine 100 times more illegal than regular cocaine just to target poor individuals in the cities. And
I know racial jungles, as our favorite president said.
yeah, it's silly, and but a lot of the music was designed and produced to kind of, I don't know, inflame that type of persona, that gangster persona.
Hmm.
Like, and it's still prevalent. These kids are running around stealing cars like it's Grand Theft Auto and carjacking people, and it's just like, oh, it's in the song. It's like, well, you got to be pretty low IQ to actually act out things you hear as a story in the music.
Yeah, and it's it's interesting to think about it within the framework of the systematic destruction of black people in America. And I think it's deeply insidious that you took the race and culture that was the least divorced, the most fathers in the household, and you flip that on its head, and you took people who were known for being dependable workers, churchgoers, and you have created people who are like, how can I scam the system? How can I do as little as possible to make money, even going to illegal things? And there's nothing wrong with me having 10 children by 9 or 10 different women, and there's no sense that I'm responsible for those kids after I impregnate that woman. And I think there's definitely a case to be made that music glorifying that, music that is amplified by the record producers, because what's cheaper, bringing studio musicians in to lay a track or borrowing a pre-existing track? Rap, the very definition of it, you
Right.
know.
Yeah. Like, remember what was that craze back in the '80s with the heavy metal music, like the satanic craze, or
Oh yeah, the
what did they
Satanic
call it?
Panic. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. Like, I've met so many metalheads, and they don't act any of that stuff out. Like, they might dress in black and wear chains and spikes and, have long hair, but they don't go out and like sacrifice animals and
yeah,
do crazy stuff. But like the people that really, even growing up in I went to high school in the hood in Connecticut and Bridgeport, and I was a minority in high school,
yeah,
and like the kids that were really into the rap music and stuff. I mean, I listen to rap with my friends, but it was different because I just like, it's music. Like, I'm not sitting there like, oh, let's dress like this and let's go steal stuff and like rob people and sell drugs. And but some people just really took it literally, which was
yeah.
kind of strange to me. I never really understood that.
And I'm sure it wasn't just rap you listened to. Also, you probably listened to, I don't know, alternative or rock or
Yeah,
whatever.
all kinds of stuff. Yeah,
Yeah,
I listened to everything. Like Corn when they were new.
yeah.
Like I saw them live. That was awesome.
See, I it's sort of this weird thing happened, and my older sister, God bless her, she and I just grew up with so much animosity towards each other. We just conflict, whatever. And she watched a lot of MTV. In my life, I don't think I've ever turned it on to MTV. Um, so to me, if she liked mainstream stuff, that meant it sucked, because you're like the younger brother, sister's a jerk to you. It sucked. So I probably didn't get really into rap until Kanye got popular, because it sounded different to me. It felt like he had something different to say. Now I really like his music. Just
I still haven't heard that song. That
that
everyone was
that
talking
H
about.
H H H song, yeah. Um,
Yeah,
so what? Kidding aside, I got really into like classic rock, and then whenever I got into college, uh, that's when I started exploring like indie music. So I never quite got into what was on the radio or was on MTV. I think like the exception would be like maybe Smash Mouth, Sugar Ray. Like I kind of got into them when they got popular when I was in high school, but like Corn, it just went over my head. It was, and the only new metal band I ever got into was Linkin Park. Because
yeah,
when we were in the military, that stuff was got pretty popular. You know,
yeah,
so
yeah, yeah. I mean, I had a pretty diverse group of friends, so we listened to everything. Like, like not so much country in the Northeast, but
yeah.
like rock, metal, like Pantera and Nirvana,
Oh yeah.
Dave Matthews Band,
Oh, bleh.
Rusted Root.
Dude, I so Derek Willett and I used to argue back and forth about Dave Matthews Band. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, he was awesome in that guitar.
He loved them too. I'm like, dude, they suck so bad. And then I and then I had him watch a video of a Yes concert, and he's like, "Oh, these guys suck. DMB is so much better." I'm like, now you're just saying it because I hate Dave Matthews."
Yeah, yeah. We watched that DVD in the barracks. He
Yeah,
made me
yeah,
watch the
yeah. He
Yes.
watched it
It was
with us. Yeah.
that was awesome.
Yeah.
That actually got me to like Yes. I was like, oh, shit, I didn't know they were like that.
Yeah, I actually got to see them in concert about 8 years ago. It
Wow,
wasn't
they're
bad.
still kicking.
Yeah,
Wow.
but think about that. Like, think about Yes, right? You have classically trained musicians, multi instrumentalists. The implementation of um, I mean, so progressive rock is the implementation of classical theory into rock music, right? You have everyone can play, like no one in the band can't play something, right? Even the main lead singer, he didn't always play an instrument, but when he had to break out the acoustic guitar, he did. Not saying that every band, everyone should be able to play,
Yeah.
but now it's like, oh, somebody who looks pretty, and they give her a mic, and they write all her
Yeah.
songs, and everything's about her boyfriend's pee.
Yeah. It's just like sex. And there's interviews where Katy Perry talked about selling her soul. You know,
Yeah,
like her music before she went super mainstream was kind of like, regular, innocent, like teeny rock kind of stuff or whatever.
I think her
And
first album was actually Christian when she was Katie Hudson.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. And then you can see the difference once you sell your soul and go into the system.
I have a firm belief that many of these women who are just out of nowhere pop artists, if it's not selling their soul, I think it's selling their virginity or their body. I have
Could be.
no doubt that many of the pop stars now, the ones who are putting out the sloppiest of the Goyslop, very much are essentially prostitutes. I really believe that.
Yeah. Like even like all the past like 15 Super Bowl halftime shows have been a satanic ritual. at least.
Oh,
There's
yeah.
just like Masonic symbolism with like the checkerboard floor and like the black and white tile floor and
What,
just like
I haven't watched a halftime show. I didn't watch this year's. Was that from this year?
no, that was a long time ago. It was like several of them. One of them was like Madonna. I think one of them I saw was like Beyonce and
Yeah.
stuff. But they every one of them they have like a lot of references to like Baphomet and Baal and flames and just like even that dude, The Weekend,
Yeah.
that guy. His show was like wildly satanic and
Really?
like all these faceless, lit up individuals running around dancing. It was really strange.
Yeah.
I was calling it out, and everyone's like, "You're a conspiracy theorist.
See,
We're trying to join."
and when I saw that show, I probably wasn't as abreast of the symbolism as I am now. Um, and that's the other thing is I'm also still learning, and like I think I've gone from when I see a video of someone uh talking conspiracies to dismiss it as nonsense to I'm actually going to listen and I'm going to read about it and I'm going to use a different browser than Safari or the Windows one uh, to look it up so that I can get past the things that try to restrict what's actually going on. Um, because it really is hard to get to the core of the source now. It used to be you could go on Wikipedia and find out the truth about something, and then as soon as the CIA made a major investment in it, not conspiracy, that's a fact. We started getting the truth shaped towards us in a certain way, you know.
Yeah, it's all curated now. I've heard that. I heard they have like over 1,000 Mossad people like working on it 24/7, like messing with entries.
It would not surprise me at all. And w- who's gonna protect you if it's a page you care about and you go to correct their information and they suddenly restrict it from you? Is our government's gonna step in and help you get your access back? You know, like
Yeah,
and I've had my IP banned for just trying to like make changes to stuff like um, album covers, like a source and just the people who are on there who aren't involved with the government are pretty restrictive about what they want you to change. It's very much it's their little unpaid corner of the internet, much like the Reddit admin, where they feel that little sense of power, you know.
yeah. Reddit is like the the juices at the bottom of a dumpster, like of the internet.
Pretty much, unless you cultivate your own feed, you're just going to be wading through absolute excrement. I mean,
Oh, that would be me. I've been swimming in raw sewage. I love it.
there's no
It's bad.
other way to put it, right? Yeah.
Yeah, I go on there once in a while, like maybe every couple of years, just to poke around, and it's usually just disgusting, horrible things. Like, why would anyone put this on the internet?
Oh
You
yeah.
know,
Yeah.
it's wild.
So you
Yeah.
were saying that like you wanted to give some examples of music that you listen to that is like around now that you think would be better than the slop they put out on the radio.
Yeah, I like indie bands and stuff too.
Yeah.
You ever hear of a band called Bare Hands?
No.
Spelled like the animal.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're pretty good. I saw them live in Vermont like 10 years ago with some of my friends, Becky's.
Hmm.
Uh, I listened to them on Spotify. I saw a band called Lucius. They're a couple couple ladies that went to Juilliard in New
Hmm.
York and went out. I saw them live in Tennessee because I never heard of them before. I was just at a concert because my sister couldn't go, and I went with her fiance. And it was like Tegan and Sarah, who I never heard of, and Lucius. And I bought my first vinyl. Like I bought
Yeah.
Lucius's vinyl. And they autographed it.
Yeah, Tegan and Sarah were popular for a minute there, but I think sort of the record companies were like, "Oh, this is a gimmick. You're both um masculine lesbian twins," but then they wouldn't play
Yeah,
the game because it's like and they're both attractive girls. Like, they're attractive girls, but they're dykes. I mean, I'm not even trying to be mean, right? Like, they just are. It's just a simple fact. Like, they're very butch looking, right? But even in that, you can see they have very pretty faces. But I think what
right.
happened is they're like, well, Miss Teague and Miss Sarah, how would you feel about showing a little more flesh? And they're like, look at us. We look like 10-year-old boys. Eh, But you can imagine that there are record producers who are like, we want to sexualize these women regardless of what they're going to do. And they're not creating slop. They're creating, like, I personally didn't like their music, but it just wasn't for
Randomly.
me. It wasn't bad music. It just wasn't for me. Um, but you see why artists like that so quickly disappear because they don't produce slop. They write their own music. They have some talent. So, I mean, like, I look at my favorite female artist of all time, Amy Mann, right? Amy Mann, she tried to sell out when she was young, and then they wanted her to like be the sexy blonde chick, and she's like, okay, I'm gonna start my own record company, and she has a huge following because she puts out good music. It's Is she a nice looking woman? Absolutely, but she could be butt ugly, and she'd be just as famous because her music is awesome, right? So, I mean, she's not. I can't think of another tall blonde, nice looking woman who puts out a bunch of Goyslop. Who could that be?
Yeah, we all know who that is.
Yeah,
Owner of her daddy owns the trucking company,
the trucking company.
Swift.
Oh, like, I don't know if she was rich, but like they try to
Yeah,
make it sound like she was middle class, and I'm like,
yeah,
I don't know.
yeah. I find weird artists on YouTube sometimes. I found this kid. I think he's out of Kentucky. His name is Logan Halstead,
Uh huh.
and he plays like soulful, kind of like mountain country blues.
Yeah.
Um, Kind of like the same ilk of Billy Strings, but not as much energy. And it's just him playing an
Yeah.
acoustic. It's not like a band or anything.
Let's take a look. What's that one red haired douchebag who wrote the song that everyone went nuts over? All all of the MAGA people were like, yeah, that music speaks to me. I can't even think of what it's called. But it was like a suddenly, for no reason at all, viral video. But he's some dude like faking a southern accent.
Oh,
I can't even think what it's called. It was like a flash in the pan.
what is that dude's name?
I'm sure, like, you know what I'm talking about, and anyone who
Yeah,
watches this, he's like, hammer,
he
hammer.
he's like
He's a so
Richmond, north of Richmond or
yeah, yeah,
something.
Richmond, yeah, north of Richmond. Like, the moment it comes on, I'm like, this is the worst freaking song I've ever heard. And then in interviews, he doesn't even have like a southern accent or a country accent at all. And then they immediately have him like everyone, all the conservatives thought that he was like some country boy who was talking about all the people on welfare were awful, and that's like, yeah, that's MAGA. I can't.
Yes, Oliver Anthony.
Oliver Anthony. And then suddenly he's on, oh, man, I believe in BLM and this and that. And all the MAGA's heads were about to explode because he turns out to be just another, he was an industry plant. Like, just the
It
fact
had
that
to be.
his video went viral for no reason. But it was like, see, country folk, you too can be pro whatever we tell you to believe. Just eat up the slop.
Yeah, he went on Rogan talking about how he didn't take all the money. Like they offered him all this crazy amount of money, and he was like, "No, I'm not selling my soul and all this stuff." And
It's like, and that's probably what his publicist told him to say.
I don't know. I don't know. I met a lot of musicians when I was living in Texas, and like the Austin, San Antonio corridor. That whole corridor is
Yeah.
like everyone's a musician. You just
Yeah.
walk up to someone like, "Hey man, what do you play?"
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
they're super liberal, super liberal.
Oh no, I've been there plenty of times, and I mean, I've seen the way it's changed people who have lived in that region. Like you, because you can, well, but I think there's people who are going to have their principles regardless of where they're at. You put enough pressure on some people, you know, who are in your vicinity, and let's say, I mean, and it goes the same way with like conservative people go to liberal places and liberal people go to conservative places, but eventually you're going to find yourself agreeing with your friends, you know. And I've definitely seen that over the years of like people I could have real moderate conversations with telling me, "Oh, well, what you said there is ignorant." And it's like, well, you know, you calling me ignorant, you know, 20 years ago, I'd probably punch you in the face. But now we
Yeah,
live in a society where if I do that, I'm going to jail, you know? So
right.
I
Yeah,
think a lot of people feel very free to run their cocksuckers about how bad you are because you stayed like, not stayed the same, but you've hardened in some views and grown to see the world for what it is, whereas they're living in some, you know, what do you want to call it, liberal or lefty, you know, fantasy land, you know, where e- everyone has your back. Uh, import them all. You know, if you say anything about it, but anyone, we want to cancel you, sort of thing. And
yeah. They have their circles, and they're not challenged. Their ideas aren't challenged. They haven't traveled. They haven't read a lot of books. They haven't, interacted with a whole lot of people, so they
yeah,
feel safe just saying whatever because their echo chambers reinforce that those ideals.
oh yeah,
And it can't even really, like, once somebody starts pulling that card out, I'm just like, all right, no more talking about this. I'm
yeah,
just like, you could probably use the Socratic method on them and just ask them a bunch of questions like, okay, why do you feel that letting 15 million people that don't want to assimilate to America, that hate us, into the country is a good idea? You're like, and then they're just like, they don't hate us. I'm like, have you seen the crime statistics? Like
yeah,
that's just the stuff that's reported.
yeah, yeah. And
Yeah,
and what I find, and what is interesting about that is those people who come, the first thing they are exposed to is television and radio. So their first impressions of this place are formed by slop. You know, it's like, oh,
immediate Goyslop.
yeah, idiot Goyslop. You know, it's like, oh, everything everywhere all at once must be an amazing movie because it won an Oscar and all these Oscars, you know, and Travis Scott, his music must be amazing, and Soulja Boy, his music must be amazing. And even today, I'll talk to people and they're like, "Who are your favorite bands?" And I'm like, "Well, Grizzly Bear, they're kind of on hiatus now. Portugal the Man," and then I'll be like, and like Phoenix, Vampire Weekend, right? And they'll be my age or younger. They'll be like, "Who?" And I'm like, all of like so some of those bands have won Grammys, right? Some of them have been included in a ton of ads. Some of them are pretty darn famous, right? So it's like,
Yeah,
so it's like, so why haven't you heard of them? It's like, oh, because you click on Spotify and you click on recommended whenever you put in like Taylor Swift, you know, or Katy Perry, these other, you know, Satanists who have their annual meetings with the Jack Antonoff producer club, you know.
I'm not too familiar with that guy.
Oh, dude, so he is like, he co-writes and produces like every mainstream um like artist chick's music, and I was reading earlier here. Let me see. It's like Taylor Swift. He produced like 3 of her albums, and he's a good musician, right? But let's see, Taylor Swift, Lord, another plant. There's no reason that woman should be famous for that Royals song that came out several years ago.
Oh yeah,
Oh, what a
yeah.
stupid song. Lana Del
That's
Rey,
so dumb.
pure Goyslop. Saint Vincent, she used to be okay. Pink, pure Goyslop.
Yeah.
Uh,
Okay.
Kendrick Lamar, the sloppiest of Goyslop. Sabrina
Yeah.
Carpenter, I love her. I actually like some of her music, but it is pure like down with the man. And then like Doja Cat, who I have no clue who that is. Thank God, I've heard the name, but
What exactly is a Doja Cat?
I don't know. So he
I thought it was like a cat that does martial arts.
Dojo. So here's what's funny. I actually saw him in concert, like back in the mid 2000s. Uh,
Who's that?
long time friend I've had for years. He was in this band called Steel Train. They were really good, right? So I was like, man, that music's good. And he, this is kind of a funny story. I saw like 4 bands that night. 3 of them were, oh gosh, one was a band called Anathello. One was Steel Train, and one was called The Format. So one of the dudes from each of those bands, all their bands broke up, and they formed that band Fun. Do you remember that song, uh, "We Are Young"?
Yeah.
It was everywhere. It was like the it was the anthem. It was like the young millennial anthem of like, look how cool we are. And I was like, this is complete garbage. And the worst part is their first album was like pure fire. But I think Jack Antonoff was like, but wait, we need to sell records. And that's when he started really doing like we're just going to write the most simplistic, crappy, appeal to your emotion nonsense. And then he started producing. And I literally think this guy has like a deal with Satan. I genuinely do. Because it's everything he like. I also, once Taylor Swift started producing or having him as her producer, she went from like, oh, I'm the cute, charming pop star to, uh, um, the eat your babies, never have kids, uh, enjoy the slop, um, talk about my boyfriend's wiener size, like, like as soon as and this guy, like, there's something about it. Like, I've seen people post pictures of him, and they're like, dude, there's something demonic about this guy, and he mostly does production because that's where the money is at, because people keep hiring him because he produces hits, right?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it takes a special kind of person to like bring people under those type of umbrellas and groom them and like I remember what was it like 2009 or something? They just wouldn't stop playing Rihanna on the radio.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's like
So, and that's the thing, the songs are catchy, right? I heard 5-year-olds singing her music whenever she got popular, because she got popular, I think, when I was in college. In fact, I actually saw her open for Kanye the day I graduated college. Um, but yeah, I'd go visit my mom, and my mom would have her kindergartners over, and they'd be singing Rihanna songs. That's how insidious it is. Whenever like, I don't know if you ever listen to any of Taylor Swift music.
it's like here and there whenever someone's playing it, I guess, in a party or like
It's it is like the most unintelligent, uninspiring, like a simplistic chord progression. It is designed to get in your head and not make it hard for your brain to repeat the rhythm and sound. It is
it's
it,
hypnotism.
oh yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. It's spell work. It's like black magic stuff.
Yeah.
Like
I mean,
yeah,
think
there's
about,
like
you had mentioned,
doesn't the Bible say like chanting is bad?
Does it?
Like saying the same thing over and over again. I thought I heard something like that. Like chanting stuff is bad. Like it summons evil spirits or something. I could just have ingested too much Instagram.
I just finished watching a I don't even know who's the new is it Ian Carroll who is like the new Alex Jones? He's kind of like gotten more popular than Alex Jones.
Sounds familiar.
Yeah, he was the first one that mentioned that I saw mention that the Schofield Bible uh was produced by Oxford and by proxy was by the Rothschilds. So that's how
Oh, shocker.
that's how he became popular in my sort of framework.
Carol. Yeah, yeah. I mean, like it's hard to find newer artists that are worth listening to. Um, you got to like really just poke around YouTube or like through your friends or go to live shows and find
Yeah,
people and stuff. And I found this really wacky band called Clowncore.
clowncore.
Yeah, yeah. They're. I was like just out of my mind one night. I think I was on a bunch of mushrooms or something, and I was just like surfing music on YouTube, and I found this band called Clowncore. It's just these two kids wearing clown masks and like jumpsuits, like a Michael Myers type jumpsuit, and they're in a porta potty just playing music, but they're good. Like
Oh.
they're they're musically talented, but their lyrics they just go into the microphone, like, and it says the lyrics on the bottom of the screen, but it's nothing. It's just like them going. But one kid plays the drums and the keys at the same time, and the other kid plays the saxophone and does vocals,
Well, well,
and it's just different. It's just really wacky and like
and
kind of like artsy.
and what's kind of funny is those dudes probably make so little money off their music. It's just
They
like
tour.
but even so, right? Like
Yeah,
I
yeah.
think there's something to be said about just music for music's sake, just art for art's sake. Like instead of, oh, how can this guy whose grandfather started a production company and gave it to my father and then gave it to me, how can I put forth the least effort but make the most money? Whereas these dudes in clowncore, they're putting forth effort, but they're never going to be, the next I don't know, Maroon 5, another one that's
Oh
like,
God.
it's like, dude, you, you have one good album and then suddenly, I'm supposed to care about you and you're
Another tiny hat.
shut it down. Shut
Yeah,
it down.
yeah. We're gonna turn you into a lamp. But yeah, I mean, he like the tattoos. Like I think he's got like that big eye, whatever the eye on
Oh
his
yeah,
chest or
I know
whatever.
what you're talking about. Yeah.
Adam Levine.
Yeah. And
Um,
and that's another one. It's like okay, you release this really good album. What was it Songs About Jane, right? Dude, I could spin that thing all day. But then it was like, well, Adam, soul music isn't that popular. We need you to have to do like this edgy, almost hip hopish type rock music. You have to change your sound. So they went from like being, oh, the indie girls love Maroon 5 to, but you're not making money. And then suddenly it was, I'm covered in tattoos. I get, because he had kind of like he looked like just kind of like a hipster, right? And then it was like, you're gonna perform with your shirt off. We're gonna have you cut before photo shoots so you can look shredded. We're gonna get you on steroids. We're gonna have you look like jacked. And we saw the consequences. The music sucked afterwards because it got overproduced.
yeah, yeah. I mean, like any art, you got to know when to just stop. like when it's done, when I do paintings
Yeah.
or whatever, like you just kind of got a gut feeling like when you're done, because you could, a few more brush strokes can just kind of mess it up or
Yeah.
change the entire thing.
And I think a lot of I think especially the male artists, they really get ruined by pussy. Like it's you have a guy um who before fame, he might have gotten a girl here or there, but like come on man. No girl's going to look at Adam Levine and be like, how he was before and be like, "Oh, here's my bra and panties." So he got tatted up, he got shredded, and then you had like the stuff where he's like messaging models and cheating on his wife and this and that. And it's just like it all started because you let the people, you let the producers, the people who run the record studio say, even if you ever were a moral person, we're going to, which he probably wasn't, and we know why. Uh, but if you ever were slightly moral, we're going to subtract that from you, you know?
Yeah, like money does crazy things to people too. But like I got to, it was. Do you ever see that? I forgot the name of the documentary, but it was when 30 Seconds to Mars was suing Sony
Mm-mm.
because Sony they basically broke down the music industry in that documentary about how like they basically give you all this money, give the artist all this money up front for like their houses and their recording studio and instruments and time, but then they got to pay all that stuff back. And then
Really?
they yeah, and then the record company takes like most of their ticket sales and like half of their merch sales, and so 30 Seconds to Mars took Sony to court for like 10 years. I think it took to get their rights to their music back and to get paid because they Sony Records sued them for like $30 million, and they didn't have that money at all.
My
Like
God.
they purposely put them in debt to make them default on all their contractual obligations, and then yeah, it was just weird. I mean, Jared Leto was a kind of a weirdo, but like
I mean, he's a weirdo, but he
they got
doesn't
some good
deserve to get
songs.
ripped off, you know?
No, like the whole band was it's an interesting documentary. I recommend watching it.
When you look historically at the record companies who have screwed the most people over, there's some indicators, right? Like I like the I think the most famous example. Well, I think there's two really famous examples. One is Three Dog Night, right? So they didn't own the rights to a lot of their music because they were mostly a cover band. But at one point, they were getting paid in heroin. So it was like, let me keep you hooked so you can do what I want you to do. And you're going to be high, but you're not going to have any money. And the other is CCR. Like to the point where um the guy who screwed over them, his name was Saul Zantz. He also ended up buying the rights to Tolkien's Lord of the Rings, which is just twisted. When you when you
It's weird.
when you know what an evil person this guy is, uh, it sort of puts into your head like, man, these people just treat nothing as sacred, especially when you think about Saul Zantz's background versus what Lord of the Rings is an allegory for. It's a fight of Christians versus evil. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, CCR was. Don't they still hold the record for like most number one songs on a debut album? I think it was like seven number one songs
No,
on
it's
one
it's
album.
not it's not them. I don't. In fact, I don't even know if they had a number one, but they were hugely famous, right? But
Yeah,
they were broke because this guy basically wrote their contract in a way, and um John Fogerty later wrote a song called "Old Man Down the Road," and it sounded like a song he'd written called "Run in the Jungle." So Saul Zant sued him for his own written work because he owned it. And what does it say about you that all you have is money? You produce nothing, but you say, I will distribute your album. You give me your soul, give me all your work. right? And I just think about stuff like that, and it's still happening. It's like you said, it's whoa, here's a house. Here's this. Oh, but you're gonna owe us. It's like, why don't you give me the money so I can buy the stuff myself? But these people, they have no freaking souls, man. I mean, and this isn't a new thing either. It's just that they went from don't even bother playing your instruments. We're gonna have someone write the song for you. We'll take it out of your paycheck. We'll have someone do the music for you. We'll take it out of your paycheck. All you got to do is show up on the casting couch, wear a lot of makeup, and espouse our values. And it's disgusting, man.
Yeah, like I forgot how many years ago it was, but there was like a Travis Scott concert, and they wouldn't let people bring their phones in. Um, and they had like the cell phone signals like jammed in there, and people were like passing out and
Oh
having
yeah,
medical problems.
the
And
Astro World or concert, and people like
yeah, and
died. Yeah.
it was like satanic as hell. You had to like walk through a giant like open mouth of a demon to get in, and like there was flames on the stage, and it looked like a portal to hell on the
Oh
stage. And
jeez.
people did sneak phones in. I saw some of that footage. It was wild. It's like people were passing out and like trying to get his attention on stage, like, hey, 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 somebody's over here. And like he didn't even care.
Oh, dude. I mean, I mean, at a certain point, like that guy has zero talent whatsoever. It's another
No.
one where just someone found him and said, "Hey, you we can make you world famous. You'll get your own. Was it like a he got like a Burger King meal or something? It was the Travis Scott meal.
I don't know. Yeah, but I don't know if I sent you that Instagram reel where there was like a dude talking about the behind the scenes of the rap industry. Like, well, they'll take you to a party, take an artist to a party right after they get signed or when they're about to get signed, and then they'll like drug their drink and then have their way with them in a back room or something with like multiple people and film it and blackmail and be like, you're gonna do what we say.
I
Or
I think to some extent, I mean, and you look at that Me Too stuff that happened a while ago. You look at a lot of the producers and directors, right? I think a
yeah,
lot of people get in that field to have access to have sex with young people. I think they're no different than people on the Epstein client list. It's just like sick fetishists with no moral compass, man. You know?
yeah, yeah. I've been to like some parties like around the Yale campus and stuff, and because I went to college in the same town where Yale is in New Haven, Connecticut. That's where the Skull and Bones
Oh yeah.
little secret society building is and stuff. There's some weird stuff going on over there, like real weird stuff. Like they're in a different dimension mentally. They're just
Well,
like,
but let's think about the people who like really want to go to Ivies. They don't want to. They don't want to go to an Ivy so that they can create the next supercomputer. They want to go to the next Ivy so they can get involved in politics and they can get close to power. Like, I mean, I used to meet these people all the time in DC. It's like, oh, I mean, I went on dates with girls who one went to Princeton, one went to Dartmouth, I think, and then I actually, believe it or not, actually met a girl who went to Harvard who was like mad cool and wasn't, but she was like, she didn't buy into all the nonsense, right? Um, but so a lot of them, it's like you're not smart. You just repeat the mantras of what your teachers and professors told you to say, right? You know?
yeah, they're just parroting.
Yeah, and here you and I are the bad guys for calling stuff goyslop because we dare to use the term that people that hate us use about us. you know?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. They're ruining like video games. They're ruining movies.
Yeah.
Like most movies are all telling us what they're going to do anyway. Like all the zombie stuff and the post-apocalyptic movies. There's like endless amounts of them coming out, like
Yeah.
indie flicks and B movies and stuff.
Have you
And
seen Everything Everywhere All at Once by any chance?
no, you said it was bad, so I didn't watch it.
So it was, to me, it is like a paint by numbers of subversion. It like fed into everything that like a certain age of Zoomers has been told is funny. So there's dimensions in the movie, right? And in order to go into different dimensions, you have like this thing you do. More than half of the things they had the people doing were like humping walls or like pretending to have sex. It's like, oh, see, it's funny because they're horny. And I'm just like, it's not funny. And then at one point in the movie, um, the girl is the like the main girl in the movie is like fighting with nunchakas, and they suddenly turn into double-sided dildos. And I was like, what? And people are like, oh, this movie was so inspiring. Honestly, it it felt like, without having any nudity, it felt like the most demonic and pornographic movie I'd ever seen. And then it won acting Oscars, and the acting was atrocious. But I think the two degenerate pieces of human filth who made this movie, they're like, we're going to make a movie for people who cannot look at one image for longer than 1 second before they have to scroll. We're going to make this movie expecting people to be on their phones half the time. So it's going to be deep to them. But if you grew up in an era, and this is what is an interesting thing with the movie, like no one over 30 liked it. Like people would watch it and their parents would be like, that's the worst thing I'd ever seen, right? I it it's worth watching just for an experiment of how much absolute filth can they throw in our face and we have to pretend it's good, you know?
Yeah, I mean, it just goes to show you how well the hypnotism works with like the
Oh,
TikTok brain. I call people with that short attention span like TikTok brains, and
yeah.
just like, oh, it's longer than 15 seconds. Attention to that.
Yeah. I
Oh
mean,
my
like,
god.
listen, I'm just gonna stick to Instagram where I send my friends racist stuff. That's
I mean, there's some gold on there. Like, there's some gold on there.
my kids will be like, Daddy, what are you laughing at? I'm like, I literally cannot show you.
Yeah, you'll
like
find out when you're older.
like what what I should do is every like racist or bigoted Instagram that I received from some people who I won't point. I might point at.
Not me.
I should save them all and make a compilation video, and then when they turn 16, I go, "This is who I am." Click.
Oh man, yeah, like yeah, a lot of movies are trash now. Like I haven't really seen a great like newer movie.
Well, did you
Um,
watch Sinners?
no,
Another one made for people scrolling on their phones. It's like, here's the premise: vampires, but they're sent by the KKK. Such nuance, such deep. It it was like, so we finished watching it.
so they're like racist vampires.
So, but it's like the two brothers. So first and foremost, the guy who made this movie has been lauded as this great filmmaker. And every time someone says it, I'm like, I feel like I'm taking crazy pills because his movies suck. A guy named Ryan Coogler. But we have to, he approves of the message. And if I say his movies suck, I'm a racist, right?
Yeah,
I am a racist and his movies suck. Fine,
I
whatever.
mean, if it's yeah, if it's just like blatant, um, like there's no kind of nuance to it. It's just like in your face,
Yeah.
like this is what it is.
Yeah.
Like movies are supposed to kind of engage your mind and have plot twists and
Thank you.
interesting stories.
So yeah,
Like
he made Black Panther, And that was, and I did like. I mean, I understand the entire Marvel multiverse is the peak of Goyslop, but I do enjoy some of them. Admittedly, that was the worst Marvel movie of that era. It was. I don't know if you saw it. Terrible.
No, I didn't see that one.
Gosh, you're so lucky, man.
Yeah, yeah. Like I used to work with a guy in New Mexico who did catering for the movies, and he worked on some of the Avengers movies. And um, he said Harrison Ford came over to the food tent one day, and he was like, "Can I get a couple pairs of rubber gloves?" And they're like, "What do you want the rubber gloves for?" He's like, "Well, I want to smoke a joint, but I don't want my hands to smell like weed. I don't want to smell like weed on set." I was like, "Hell yeah, Han Solo's getting stoned,
Oh my
man."
god. There's a guy who's seen some stuff and has kept his mouth shut. I'm sure. They wonder why
Oh
he's
yeah,
so crotchety.
yeah. He's got a property out here. He rescued some Boy Scouts that got lost in Yellowstone during a bad storm. They
Mhm.
hid in a cave for like a couple days, like a day or two, and he had his helicopter out there, and he found him and picked him up.
Aren't a lot of the rich people buying land up there?
Yeah,
It's probably so they can have their own Epstein Islands up there.
I don't even know. Like, there's a 50 square mile section of Yellowstone where no laws apply.
Oof.
Yeah, so like
It's already
anything can
happening.
happen in there.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
I'm sure it is.
I mean, it's in the middle of nowhere. It would take forever to get. There's no roads and shit. You gotta
Yeah.
hike out there.
Maybe they should do some nuke testing out there.
Nah, I don't even know if nukes are real.
Yeah, you said that. You said that.
Yeah, I don't like a lot of the test footage is fake. It looks like miniature, like they're miniatures.
So, if that is the case, what did they drop on Hiroshima and Nagasaki? Just like really large bombs?
Really big TNT bombs or fire bombs
I mean, I guess
because
they have those ones they call bunker busters, right? That could like get underneath the ground and you know.
yeah, yeah, but like even back then, like how could you measure or compare? They call it like 50 megaton explosion
Yeah.
or 50 kiloton or whatever. That's 50 million pounds of TNT.
Yeah.
It's a lot of freaking TNT, and it would probably create that mushroom cloud effect because it's so much explosion.
So you're
So
telling
much
me
explosive.
that Christopher Nolan would lie to me? Christopher Nolan, the epitome of the Goyslop director, would lie to me? And Oppenheimer?
I don't know. Maybe he did Inception and like Dark Knight and stuff, right?
Yeah. I
Yeah,
he's another one who I yet to see. The only one that slightly appealed to me, but I thought was still ultimately a failure was the Christian Bale one with the magician stuff. Hugh Jackman, The Prestige.
oh,
Yeah.
yeah,
Like that was okay. But other than
yeah, it was
that,
okay.
I'm like I mean and like admittedly, I am a film snob. But I'm a film snob shaped by the fact, like, growing up watching great films. And I'm not going
Yeah,
to change my standards just because people tell me, oh, no, this is good. This movie is good. It's like, no, like Inception sucks. Interstellar sucks. It's like, there's no story. It's just scene after scene and a bunch of loud bass. you know?
yeah, yeah, like hypnotic soundtrack type deal.
Yeah.
Like even a lot of the Instagrams and TikToks, they use that Interstellar music
Yeah.
in the background.
Yeah.
I showed my girlfriend Roadhouse. She never saw Roadhouse. Yeah, that's pure '80s ghost slot, but it's
Dude,
so good.
dude, that if you
She
took
loved
the
it.
if you took the pinky of Roadhouse, it has more inspiration, better screenwriting, even better cinematography than anything Ryan Coogler or Christopher Nolan have ever done. That's pure cinema.
Yeah, like I saw the remake and it was terrible. It was so bad.
It I I enjoyed it, but like in a this movie's stupid and I recognize that, but it's funny sort of way, you know. But
Yeah, like Conor McGregor stole the show on that
oh,
one.
dude, like every scene he's in, I am cackling with laughter because it's
Yeah,
just how he
yeah,
walks.
yeah. He's like,
You know, I talk all this crap about modern film, but I watched that one battle after another. Phenomenal. Like I was like, oh wow, they actually gave the best picture to a really great movie. Because the year before they gave it to some movie that was essentially a porn. I think it was called Nora. Uh, and like the actress who won it, Mikey Madison, um, has a job for a reason. Wink. And you know that reason. She's just nude half the movie, right? She's as the guys would say, her Kaiser milkers were on full display. Remember when they used to say that about Ben Shapiro's sister?
no, I never heard that.
They'd be like, "Look at those Kaiser milkers." I'd be like, that is horrible. But I was trying to make a joke.
Like Kazarian.
Yeah, you know, like that whole
Yeah.
Khazarian Jewish theory or whatever.
Oh, I was
So
gonna, yeah.
so I'm making a joke about Mikey Madison being Jewish, but I have nothing against her, whatever. But during her acceptance speech, she's like, "This is for the sex workers," because the movie's about a hooker, right? Oh, this is for the sex workers. We need to respect the sex workers. And like, you'll have people who will tell you if you're disrespecting sex workers, that's something wrong with you. And I'm like, I can say this, not everyone can. I have never engaged, even as a customer, with the act of prostitution. So if I do want to judge, I feel completely fine doing it. Now, people were like, well, would you ever date a sex worker? I'm like, no. I'm like, well, what if she'd repented and found Jesus? Yes. It's that simple to me. But like this idea of like, we're at the Oscars. We just had Me Too, where a bunch of guys of a certain variety, mostly, were preying on women, right? And now you're going to come out here and celebrate sex workers. Like, did you guys not learn the lessons of 2016 when every sleazy producer was caught exchanging, like, getting sex from young women so they could have starring roles? And it's just like that. I don't think they ever learned their lesson. I don't think anyone ever taught them a lesson because only one guy went to jail, and that's because he's ugly.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's weird that they turned it into such like a I don't know how to explain it. Like it's a not a is it taboo? Like they made it so that it's like you're taking someone's power or giving someone power by engaging in all that weird, crazy, despicable stuff.
Oh yeah, they have to break them down. That the way they can get them to do anything. Yeah.
Yeah, it's real weird. Like I don't I'll never really understand that aspect of our society because it's such like a hush hush. You know, everyone's like starstruck with certain people and care about this celebrity or that celebrity versus like actual role models.
Oh yeah. That's the absolute epitome of the point of the slop is is you know, look at what they did to Ben Carson. So Ben Carson, he is with especially on the East Coast, black kids looked at him as a hero. You'll even see like in that show The Wire, there's even one little kid who says like, "Yeah, I'm gonna grow up and be like that N word who saved them babies," or something like that. And he's talking about Ben Carson, right? But then Ben Carson becomes a politician. Suddenly, it's, oh, that surgery wasn't that big of a deal. Oh, that movie he made about his life, he probably lied about most of it. They started calling into question everything. Whereas Feed Run for the other party, they none of that would have happened, you know? But it's like here's a moral dude who respects Christ, who is high achieving, highly intelligent. There's even this one I I had a loose association with this girl who went to college with some of my friends, and she works in clinical like psychology with stuff to do with Alzheimer's. She was like analyzing his speech and trying to say he had dementia and all this stuff because he spoke slowly. But then, whenever Dementia Joe became president, she said nothing, complete silence. And I said, I just can't even respect you. Like you're so far gone. And it's, I mean, yeah, but it's so funny how like look at any celebrity who's come out as not part of the, the cult. Like James Woods, he never had any weird accusations of anything. The moment he starts to be conservative, Amber Tamblyn, who is a nepo baby, comes out and says that he tried to like sleep with her at some party or something. It's like notice you only said this once he started going for the other side. These people are disgusting,
Yeah,
man.
it's like they got stuff on file that may or may not be true. Like, yeah, so I'm sure he was at a party, probably a couple drinks, like, hey, what's up? Like
Yeah,
25 years ago
yeah.
or something.
But she tweets about it and said, "Oh, it must be true. It must absolutely be true." Like you have those people who there was some guy who tweeted that like on some this is kind of funny. He's like on page 254 of Hillbilly Elegy. JD Vance admits to trying to have sex with his couch.
Man.
And it wasn't true, but people still use it as an insult, even though it was just a joke.
Yeah, I mean, when people are in the spotlight like that, things just get magnified like tenfold, and
Yeah.
it's just silly. I would never want to be that famous. You can't even go out to eat anywhere or be like do anything normal. You can't go to the beach. You can't like go out, go for a walk in some places without people just coming up and
Oh yeah. I think I always use him as a great example. But there's a Division One coach. He used to coach at our local college, and I took my girls to lunch, and he's in the same place. I see him. I'm like, I know this guy from somewhere. And I said, "Hey man, are you the UNT coach?" He goes, "Yeah, I'm Grant. Nice to meet you." I'm like, "I'm Rick." Whatever. And I just and like this dude, you could tell he did not go to lunch expecting anyone to recognize him. I just happened to follow their basketball team, right? Um, and he starts talking to me, like asking me where I go to church and like about my family and stuff. I was like, oh, this is cool. And I told my neighbors later, I said, that's the kind of famous to be. We're only like you can go somewhere and not expect someone to even recognize you. And the person who does is because they really like your sport. They really like your team. They actually respect the job you do, right? That's the kind of famous that I would be fine with. Like but like go anywhere and people just want to kiss your butt. I mean, heck no, man.
No,
Imagine being Leo, dude.
no, I wouldn't be able to do it.
He's like, you know that you know you know that photo meme from the Green Mile where it's like, I'm tired, boss. They're like,
Yeah,
Leo, we have another 22-year-old Israeli model for you. I'm tired, boss.
yeah, yeah. Poor guy. Oh no.
Must be awful.
Yeah, it's terrible.
But he looks lonely as hell when they show him in the pictures, man.
Oh
50,
yeah.
50 years old, no kids, no wife. Not for me, man.
Yeah, it's like, what do you have in common with somebody half your age?
Yeah, yeah,
It's just for show.
yeah. I mean, it's one thing to be single, but it's another thing to be single and you know that you're just gonna have 2 years with every woman, and, and this is where I think the perversion starts among like both the actor and producer class is they're given so much they they basically I think they build fetishes because it's like I can get any woman I want, but I might not be able to get every 15-year-old I want. You know
That was perfect timing.
what's that?
Your daughter was like, "What?" Right after you said that.
Oh my goodness! Don't put that into my mind. That's horrifying.
No, yeah, well, like just this time, I know she didn't hear what you said,
Yeah, yeah,
but it's just perfect timing.
yeah.
Oh my god.
So wh- I want you I want you to sort of give me some ideas of other things that you perceive as Goyslop. Like, what are some things I might not even think about? Because I think I've been mostly talking about what I perceive. What are some things you perceive as like just pure slop that we engage with?
Um, like us personally, or just
No,
like
no, just society,
as a
us,
society,
whoever.
like all the reality TV nonsense that everyone's like obsessed with. Um, like I remember I worked in an office back in like 2010, and there was these two 20-something-year-old girls that sat behind me, and they just sat there talking about 16 and pregnant all day on MTV, and I was just like, what is why are people so fascinated about these teenagers that are in a horrible position
Yeah.
socially and financially? It's just like,
And then
and they're
one of them ended up doing porn. There was one of them that was like a teen mom. I think her name was like something Abraham. She ends up doing porn. Like
shocker.
I don't know if they did that move.
Oh, yeah, maybe.
Yeah, I don't know. Were you ever into reality TV at all?
uh, like Road Rules on MTV way back in the day,
Oh,
and then
yeah.
like Survivor, that stupid Survivor show.
I think on my first deployment, we watched the first season, but I think we might have only watched like the last episode. Cause yeah.
I could never get into it. Like everyone's like, "Oh, we're sitting here, we're gonna watch this Survivor. It's Survivor's on. We got to stop everything we're doing and watch it." And I'd be hanging out at someone's house, and everyone got all quiet, sitting there watching it. And I'm like, "This is the dumbest shit ever."
Dude, and that it's terrible because it ruins your social occasion. You're like, "Oh, I'm here to
Yeah,
catch up with friends. Oh, we got to put on this show." And it's like, "I didn't come over here to watch a show, man." Yeah, I had that happen a few
yeah,
times. Like,
yeah. It's weird.
go ahead.
No, it's just weird, like how everyone just kind of like clockwork. Their programming kicks in, and they're just like, "I gotta
Yeah.
go watch that."
Yeah, we used to uh first couple of years after college, I used to go to this trivia night and we had these regulars who would show up and we're like, "Okay, well, we'll see you next Tuesday or whatever." Like, "Oh, I might not be here. It's the How I Met Your Mother finale." And I'm like, "So you're not so you're going to give up you would rather not have drinks and have fun with your friends and have a meal. You'd rather sit in your home and just slop up some How I Met Your Mother." Like,
Some more, some of that Goyslop. You ever? Oh my God! Speaking of Goyslop, um, you ever see that movie, The Stuff?
the stuff. No.
Yeah, it came out in the '80s. It's like a really cheesy '80s movie about this stuff that looks like fluffernutter, but when everyone eats it, they get all crazy brainwashed and like they just start doing wild stuff and they try to poison this whole town with it. Like, and this one guy's onto their stuff. Dude, it's really good. It's worth a watch. It's like super cheesy,
Dude,
but it's fun.
hey, I'm sure it's better than anything Nolan makes.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's up there with like Troll 2.
yeah. What was I listened to the other day? They were doing some podcast I was listening to was talking about that whole like that Kent guy who just resigned from the Trump admin and his interview with Tucker Carlson. Uh, but what they had mentioned is something like, I forget what they said it was, but like 15% of a certain age of woman is on OnlyFans. And I'm like,
I think it's 30.
30?
I think it's 18 to 24-year
And
olds.
that is like the epitome of slop for many reasons, because we know who runs OnlyFans, right?
Yeah, yeah,
Get
yeah,
him as far away from God as possible, right? You know.
yeah. That and I mean that, and if it's one thing if they invest their money wisely while they have that opportunity with their youth and their beauty and whatever. But like, I'm not condoning it in any way, shape, or form
Yeah.
because like as soon as I got out of the Marines, I worked the door at a strip club,
Yeah.
and the smart ones. Actually, there's only one smart one. She was like a Jamaican girl that lived in the city, so she didn't live anywhere near the place, and
Yeah.
and she put herself through nursing school with the money. So like, why not? It was like quick, easy money, and you know,
Yeah, and
and she wasn't like a scumbag or anything. She wasn't like a drug addict or crazy.
she wasn't. I mean, uh, I feel some sense of pity. Yeah, because I mean, have I been to a strip club? Yes, but to me, it was almost sort of like a I'm gonna laugh about it. But when you go there, you see some of those dudes are sad. Like they're just
Oh
like
yeah,
looking at the girls and they're like, I don't have ones, I'll give you 20s. It's like they think
yeah.
that like maybe they can buy a girlfriend.
She loves
They're
me.
like, every time
She
I
loves me.
every time I come here, Cinnamon, she compliments me on my new weight loss.
Yeah, those are the same type of dudes that you hang out with at the bar or whatever, and like one girl like rubs his elbow, like nudges him, or oh man, she's totally into me, dude.
Tim, I think the buy me drinky girl really likes me. She
Yeah,
told me
some of those guys. Oh my
s-
god. Yeah, it's true.
some guys bought out their contracts and married them.
Oh,
Yeah,
I bet.
yeah,
I bet.
yeah.
Yeah, and then they get it westernized, they get Americanized, and then take half their stuff.
They're like,
You know?
but her little hands felt so small. And I thought
Yeah.
she was like a child. It's like, what?
Oh,
Calm
yeah.
down, Harvey.
Yeah. Remember in Dodgeball, like who's that actor who played Milton in Office Space?
Stephen Root?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Remember his wife was an angry little Filipino lady in Dodgeball, always emasculating him and yelling at him.
I feel I feel so bad, but like it maybe once in 1,000 I would find any Filipino woman attractive. And it's not because they weren't attractive, but I grew up in Quantico where like half the wives were Filipino, and just hearing that accent would just like after so many years
Yeah.
like and it's that weird spot where it's like I had a bunch of, obviously I was in the Navy, I had a bunch of Filipino friends, but I was like, yeah, you don't have to worry about me hitting on your girl. We're good.
Yeah. Yeah. He had an aversion to it.
Yeah, I mean, but just this is another example of the sort of stuff that is pushed towards us to get us off the path, you know, put us in compromising positions. It's like keep the um keep the money flowing, and I mean, and not to say that like at a certain age, a lot of us, it wasn't the prime age. We literally had the word M for Mark written on our forehead, as guys with no girlfriends overseas and a lot of money. And a lot of the guys who were married didn't seem to stop them either, right? So like, yeah,
Yeah.
it's like, sure, we were taken advantage of, and but at the same time, it's because we were raised in a society that told us it was okay. We were raised in a pop culture that says, have as much sex as you can, you know,
Yeah.
don't worry
Well,
about.
I mean, yeah, they understand how the human brain works, and they've mastered controlling it because they just feed into those primal instincts of like, this feels good, go do that all the time, and
Yeah.
everyone's like super impulsive, and they just go for it, no matter the cost. Like, it can ruin your family or ruin your life, or
Oh yeah.
do then rather than like focus on your garden or having some sheep or some goats or a cow,
Or even just getting a
and
good workout in. You
yeah,
know?
going, yeah,
Yeah, just
yeah, for sure.
log on to the hub and wank away, you know? You know,
Yeah.
to sort of go back to an earlier subject, I think this is why the cultivation of Taylor Swift and what she expresses is so dangerous. You know, having daughters, right? And luckily for me, they're almost as cynical as I am. They'll put on, they listen to some like popular pop stuff, whatever. Um, like that dummy, the one who does the backflips. I can't even think of his name. It just sounds like it's written to check boxes in the, you know, power chords algorithm, right? But if you but they're like, yeah, Taylor Swift sucks. But I show them, I'm like, this is a woman who is deeply unhappy, who she had to come out in an ad, in a political ad for Kamala, holding a cat, calling herself a childless cat lady. You know, it's like, girl, you sold your soul. And it's like, was what is she, 36, right? Which, whatever, I mean, like, you don't have to be domesticated, but you can say, oh, this was my choice to focus on music and not get married and not have kids, and that's fine. But you know what, sweetheart, you do what you want to do, right? Like Stevie Nicks, right? She made the choice to not have kids. She's like a stepmom to some kids, or whatever. But that's a choice she made, right? To not have a long-term relationship. But whenever I have neighbors who are like, oh, I want to take the girls to go see the Taylor Swift movie. And I'm like, my girls don't like Taylor Swift. And I think she's a terrible role model. And the woman was like, oh, like she was so shocked that I didn't just eat up the slop.
Oh yeah, you don't like the way it tastes? Put it in your mouth.
This tastes like Jackantonoff semen. Mm.
I'll have seconds. Oh man, we should probably wrap it up. I gotta help Morgan make dinner.
Oh, you haven't eaten yet?
No,
Ah, dang, I'm sorry, man. I'm interrupting your meal.
no, no worries.
Well, as long as it is not soy infused Goyslop, I hope you enjoy your meal.
I don't know. Hey, Morgan, are you making goyslop?